Hi guys, in this session we'll discuss about the project monitoring and control part 2. Actually, we are in step 7, allocation of resources in software project development. In order to allocate the resources, we need a framework which is useful to monitor and control the whole project from day 1 to day n, creating a framework. So in part 1 we discussed about the need of the framework. In this session we'll discuss how this framework is used to schedule the activities and whether we are working according to the schedule and finishing the tasks or not. So achieving the targets. In software project development, we are starting with the top level element called problem description. So here we have the project description in terms of problem. So this problem is furtherly divided into various modules, and each module is furtherly divided into various submodules into sub modules until the lower level elements. So finding the lower level elements called objects. So what do you mean objects? Object is a real world entity. So we are trying to finding the various real world entities that are existed in the problem statement. Okay, so here we are not solving the problem as a single unit or as a single element. We are dividing this problem into various smaller sub problems called modules and so on. So for this problem and the various intermediate level elements and the lower level elements, a schedule is created. When should we start the submodule and when should we start the module and so on. Okay, at the same time when should we finish the lower level elements and the intermediate level elements and the final solution. A schedule is created, that is scheduling activities. Okay, identifying the various tasks in the project development and scheduling the tasks. Okay, so that is a start time of the task 1 and end time of the task 1, start time of the task 2, end time of the task 2, and so on. So that is nothing but the start time of the object, end time of the object, start time of the parent object and end time of the parent object, start time of the grandparent object, end time of the grandparent object, and so on, proceeding towards top level, that is finding the solution for the whole problem. Okay, so this schedule is furtherly divided, shown or divided into for every task. So every task is having six parameters. The six parameters are start time of the task, corresponding end time, and in between this, the actual duration that is given to finish this task. Okay, and latest start. By any chance, if this task is not started by this start time, okay, what is the maximum waiting period that we can wait, that is float. According to that we have to start latest start. If the task is started by this time, we have to finish the task by this time, latest finish. So in project development, definitely some critical activities are existed. What do you mean a critical activity? If an activity takes more time than the planned time, okay, it's called critical activity. So the activities that are depending on these critical activities has to wait to start. Okay, so the impact of the delay shows on the remaining depending activities. Okay, so these critical activities are existed in project development. So when these critical activities are existed, it's not easy to finish the task by the given deadline. Okay, so that we are testing whether we are working according to the schedule and finishing the task by the given target dates or not. In that process we are trying to finding the various shortfalls existed in software project development. Okay, so the first one is delays in meeting target dates. So why delays? So definitely in project development, various problems will occur internally. So the major problem is changes suggested by the client in requirements, the various changes. So the greatest advantage of software is flexibility. So we can accommodate the changes during development. From analysis to maintenance, you can accommodate the change whenever the client suggests. Okay, so when the client suggests changes, so we have to accommodate the changes. Okay, so already we have the schedule. When we are trying to incorporating the changes in the schedule, definitely some overlap occurs between the activities. So there is a possibility of critical activities. So it's not easy to finish the project by the given deadline. Not only project, so all the internal project products called project deliverables. Okay, so the first shortfall is delays in meeting target dates, and then shortfalls in quality. So whenever the requirements are changes frequently, it shows the effect on the quality of the internal project modules and the corresponding final solution for the problem. Okay. So what do you mean quality? So in terms of functionality, reliability, usability, performance, stability, scalability, adaptability, testability, and so on, various. So here, prior to development at this level, we have the problem definition and the corresponding schedule, and the required quality is defined. Okay, so we have to achieve that quality. So at this level, so during development at any time, client may suggest changes. When we try to incorporate the changes in the project deliverables in mid of the schedules, so it shows effect on the quality of the existing is nothing but the work that you have finished up to that. Okay, so nothing but the existing work has to support the future changes. Otherwise it shows the effect in terms of functionality, usability, reliability, performance, stability, scalability, and so on. Okay, and the third shortfall is inadequate functionality. So what do you mean functionality? Here we define various functionalities that we are providing through the system at the top level called problem description. So here we are identifying various functionalities. Okay. So these functionalities are planned and given a schedule. According to that schedule only we will work and finish the tasks. Whenever changes are suggested, whenever changes are suggested, so it may affect the existing functionalities. It may show effect on the existing functionalities. Okay, so the quality may change. When the quality is changed, the schedule is violated. So what do you mean a violation? The activity may or may not start by the given start time. Okay, if it starts by the given start time, there is a possible to finish by this time. Okay, when change is suggested, we cannot start. Definitely, we cannot say whether it will start by this time or not. If it starts by this time, it will finish by this time. Okay. So here, when we are trying to incorporating changes in the existing functionalities, are all the existing functionalities are supporting the changes or not? If does not support, we have to make them support the future changes, because we are working for the client. As per the client need, we have to accommodate these changes in the existing functionality. So when we try to incorporate these changes, definitely delays will happen in the project schedule. Okay, so then the fourth shortfall, cost increasing. Whenever we are trying to adding the new functionalities, definitely it shows the effect on in the schedule. So here schedule is violated, the planned schedule is violated. So that is nothing but the time is increasing. We have to estimate the cost for the increased time. So cost in terms of financial, in terms of human resources, in terms of the various hardware and software resources, and the various environmental factors. So all these we have to estimate, and incorporating those changes in schedule, revise the plan, and according to the modified plan, we have to work and finish the tasks. Okay, so why shortfalls are existed? Because of these problems. Some of them only listed, so we have different reasons. The first reason is changes in requirements. So client will change the requirements frequently as per the market demand. And dependency in activities, definitely some dependencies existed in all the project products. Why dependencies existed? Because we are not solving the problem as a single unit. This is furtherly divided into various modules, modules into submodules, submodules into sub-sub-module. So definitely dependency is existed. So when dependency is existed, there is a possibility of existence of critical activities. Okay, so we need to overcome the critical activities. Okay, so then non-availability of resources. As per the changes, we have to accommodate the resources. So what are the resources are required? Human resources, that is software technical professionals, and the software resources, hardware resources, and environmental factors. So we have to supply all this as per the changes. Okay. So due to these problems, shortfalls are existed, and the schedule is violated. Because of this violation, we cannot deliver the product on time to the client. So in this case, the framework is useful whether we are working according to this schedule and the modified schedule or not. Okay, that we are checking using the framework, achieving the targets. Now, how to achieve these targets? By defining the various responsibility roles. Okay, so this defines the various roles in the project reporting hierarchy. Okay, so this is the pictorial representation of the project reporting hierarchy. So we have basically the steering committee will meet the client and collects the requirements from the client and gives to the project manager. The project manager again meets the client and collects the required all requirements from the client and modifies according to the industry need and as per the client demand, defines the problem and refines the problem. So after refining the problem, that is given to the various team leaders. So as we know that we have three types of software projects. What are three types of software projects? Large scale projects, medium scale projects, small scale projects. Okay, so we are taking in the account of large scale projects. We are discussing about the large scale project. Okay, so the large scale project is divided into various smaller chunks called modules. So every module is leading by a team leader, team leader 1 to team leader n, various team leaders. And the various team leaders are furtherly dividing into various groups. The groups are having the project phases, so software development life cycle phases: analysis phase, design stage, development stage, testing stage, maintenance stage, etc., etc. So depends on the project type, we will define the various levels of people. Okay, so the steering committee. So the steering committee will look after about the whole project quality. So the top level or high level people always monitors and controls the product quality, what is defined in the problem, what is achieved by the given deadline and during schedule. That is monitoring by steering committee. Okay, and then project manager. So this project manager will monitor all the project deliverables or project products. That is nothing but this project manager will collect the progress of day to day activities on all the project products. Okay, project deliverables and monitoring controls. If any violation is there, controls all these project products. Okay. And this team leaders and further. Okay. So we'll monitor the various submodules, the lower level information, like phase wise: analysis phase, design phase, development, testing, maintenance, and documentation. So steering committee ensures the satisfactory progress on the whole project. As a responsible steering committee member, I have to monitor and control the whole project. What is the deadline given to finish the whole project? Okay, according to the deadline, we are delivering or not, and what is the quality is defined, what are the requirements are defined, are all the requirements are effectively used or not. So that is monitored by steering committee, ensures the satisfactory progress on the whole project. Project manager takes the responsibility of day-to-day activities on project products, the intermediate project products. Team leaders monitors the smallest of projects, that is this level, and in terms of project phases analysis. So depends on the project type, we will furtherly divide this analysis team. So number of analysts are working, number of designers, architect, engineers are working. So this is the major group we have. So that is development team. So sometimes across the world, across the globe, different teams are working on the same project. Some are working in client end, some are working from the parent end. Okay. So different people are working in this group at the same time, testing quality and testing team. Okay. So and documentation and maintenance team. So these are the various responsibilities of the project development. Steering committee, project manager, and team leaders monitors the whole project and prepares a report on each task, each subtask, each sub task. So we'll prepare a report on the whole project, on every individual modules and every individual sub modules, and so on. For every object we have to prepare a report that we will see. Okay. So reporting categories, the various reporting categories. Report type, basically we are having five types of reports. Oral, formal, regular report. So this is prepared weekly or monthly progress meetings. So generally we will prepare a report on all the project products, whether all the project products are started by the given or specified start time or not. Okay. And finishing by the given deadlines or not. So we are collecting the progress of all the tasks. Okay. So while reports may be oral, formal written minutes should be kept, so that we are recording. Okay. Every meeting is recorded. The second one is oral formal ad hoc. So this is end of stage review meetings. Okay. So we have different levels of information: top level, middle level, and low level. Okay. At each stage, we will conduct a review meeting. What is defined in this level? What is achieved? That we are assessing. Okay. End of stage review meetings. While largely oral, likely to receive and generate written reports. The third one is written formal regular report type. So that is preparing in terms of job sheets or progress reports. So we'll prepare a job sheet for every object, every parent object, every grandparent object, and so on for final project. Okay. And so in terms of project report, in terms of submodules report, in terms of modules report, and so on. Okay. So normally weekly using forms. Okay. We'll discuss about this weekly form. Okay. Then fourth type, written formal ad hoc, exception reports or change reports. So during development, definitely client will suggest some changes, depends on the market trend. Okay. We have to accommodate the changes. So when the project was started, when the change is suggested, we have to maintain a record on the changes. Okay. So that is next. The fifth one is oral informal ad hoc. So this is like a canteen discussion and social interaction. So if you see, So at this level, okay, the lower level, so different people are working, particularly in this development section. In this development section, huge number of developers are working from different locations. Okay, so we need to coordinate and cooperate with each other. Coordination and cooperation is required among all these people, because some people are working on this module from one place, some people are working on this module from other place. Okay, it's not easy to meet these people. Okay, that's why we have to conduct progress review meetings. Okay, so if it is not possible, so they will discuss generally in terms of social interactions and know about the status of the ongoing tasks. Often provides early warning, must be backed up by formal reporting. Okay, these are the different types of reporting categories during project development. Now, assessing the progress. Progress of what? Every project task. Okay, so here how we started the development. The given problem is divided into modules, modules into submodules, submodules into submodules, and so on, objects called tasks. Okay, for every object, every parent object, every grandparent object is having some start time and finish time. Okay, so if the task is not started by this start time, what is the maximum waiting period? Okay, this is the waiting period that we can wait up to this time. Okay, so that is this. Okay, so you have to start the task by this time, worst case. Okay, if it is started by this time, you need to finish it. So here assessing the progress of each project task at various levels, that is top level, intermediate level, and lower levels, or lower levels. How to assess the progress? By defining the checkpoints. So these checkpoints are discussed in life cycle phases. So we have discussed the various life cycle phases: inception, elaboration, construction, and transition. Okay, so during that we discussed about the various artifact sets: requirements artifact set, design artifact set, implementation artifact set, management artifact sets. Like this, various artifact sets are defined. Those are used to check the progress of the whole schedule. Okay, also individual project tasks. Okay, so how we'll check predetermined times when progress is checked. Okay, so every task is having a start time and end time. Okay, so whether the task is started by the time, by the given specified time or not. Okay, if it is started by this time, it has to finish by this time, whether it is finished by this time or not, that we are checking. Okay, by any chance. So as we know that there is a possibility of existence of critical activities, that is a dependency among activities. So definitely we have to wait to start some tasks. Okay, so if critical activities are existed, then this is the maximum waiting period we have to start. Okay, if the task is started by this time, this is the finish time. So those are checked. Okay, so that is a checkpoints, predetermined times when progress is checked. So this is checked like event driven. Check takes place when a particular event has been achieved or not. Okay, so here what do you mean particular event? So as we know that the development starts dividing the problem into sub problems, sub problems into sub problems, and so on. Okay, so each sub problem is an event. Okay, so for every event called project task, every project task is having some deadlines, some quality that is achieved or not at each level. Okay, and then time driven, date of the check is predetermined. So that is before commitment, we have given a schedule. According to that schedule only we have to finish. So in that schedule only we have given some review times. Okay, formal reviews. Okay, so that formal review dates we have to conduct, and we have to know the progress of the all lower level tasks, intermediate level tasks, and final project. Okay, and preparing a report, that is frequency of reporting. The higher the management level, generally the longer the gaps between checkpoints. So depends on the project type, small scale, large scale and medium scale projects, we will prepare the report. Okay, so here we will prepare the report, each level. Okay, on top level, in the middle level and in the lower level, at each level, and also for every task, every parent task, for every grandparent task. Okay, we will collect the progress and assess. Okay, so and prepares a report collecting the progress. How to collect the progress? So during development, we have to check how many tasks are defined, how many are finished, that is achievements. Okay, so as we know that the problem is divided into modules into submodules and so on. Okay, so this is one event and one achievement. This is a second event, second achievement. When we integrate these two, you will get the solution of this. Okay, when we integrate these two, you will get the solution of this. So when will we achieve the solution of this? Whenever you find the solutions of all its childs and grandchilds problem solutions. Okay, that is achievements. Okay, so at each level, at top level, at intermediate level, at lower level, you have the achievements. Okay, that is whether how many intermediate tasks are defined, lower level tasks are defined, and higher level tasks are defined. So like this, that is a schedule. Okay, what are the tasks are scheduled for week 1, week 2, week 3, and so on. How many tasks are finished by week 1? Okay, so that is achievements. In order to find the achievements, we will use milestones, that is checkpoint mechanism. Okay, what is the quality is defined for this task, is the quality is achieved or not? So using milestones, we will assess the progress of all the tasks. Okay, and then cost of what? Cost of the whole solution, cost of the modules. Okay, intermediate modules, cost of the submodules. Okay, various lower level elements. Okay, so during this development, definitely changes are suggested. According to the changes we have to revise. Okay, so after modification, for the revised plan, we have to estimate the cost in terms of effort. Okay, so effort of the initial plan, effort of the changed plan. Okay, and human resources. Okay, so how many human resources are required for the initial? Okay, and how many human resources are required for the modified one? So in the same way, the various software resources, hardware resources and other environmental factors are estimated, collecting data about all this, about the tasks and their cost, development costs. Okay, so in between this, okay, when we are developing the project from day 1 to day end, during the development some of the tasks are stopped due to critical activities presence. Those are called partial completion reporting. Partial completion reporting. If any task or any product or any work product or sub product is stopped due to the presence of the critical activities, so nothing but partially completed, not completely finished. Okay, so how to start this partially finished tasks? Okay, so how to deal with the partial completions? So this kind of modules are dealt using 99% partial completion syndrome technique. Okay, so when this kind of project tasks or activities are existed in the development, how to deal? Using two techniques: controllability and modularity. Okay, what do you mean controllability? Regulating the work products or tasks, not the activities. Okay, So that is controlling the work products or tasks. So that is nothing but assess the progress of or collect the progress of work products that are finished by the given deadline. How many work tasks are finished, not the activities. That is controllability. Okay. And then modularity, subdivide into lots of sub activities. So by any chance, due to the existence of critical activity, if any activity is stopped, okay, how to continue. Okay, when the critical activity existed, divide that critical activity into various sub activities. So what do you mean this modularity concept? Dividing, wherever you identify the problem, divide it into further work products, sub work products, sub work products. So what is the use of this division? Modularity concept, the complexity of the critical activity is reduced. When the complexity is reduced, we can easily solve. Okay, so this is like this way we'll collect the progress of all the tasks during development. Okay, from top to bottom while planning, and bottom to top while implementing. Okay, in both the cases we'll collect the progress. Okay, then we'll write a report, a weekly timesheet and progress review form. Okay, so this is prepared for a delayed project task. So what do you mean delayed project task? A critical activity or critical task. So what do you mean critical task? If a task takes more than the planned time to finish the work, if a task takes more than the given time. So nothing but every project task is having a specific duration. You have to you finish the particular task in this duration only. You need to start the activity or task by this time and utilizing this period and finish the task by this time only. Okay. So due to the dependency existed among the activities, there is a possibility of critical activities occurrence. Okay. So some project tasks are delayed. Okay. For delayed project tasks only, will prepare a weekly timesheet and progress review form. Okay, so it contains various parameters. The staff assigned to that particular task and week ending time. Okay, and rechargeable hours. So chargeable hours and rechargeable hours. So what do you mean chargeable hours? For the whole project, we have a schedule. So the schedule is estimated prior to development. The schedule is estimated. That is chargeable. That is a pre-estimation. Okay, that is what is rechargeable hours? Estimating the delayed project tasks. By any chance, if any task is delayed, okay, so when it is delayed, it shows the impact on the depending activities. Okay, so these the remaining depending activities has to wait, and those activities also will delay. Okay, so we need to work more. So that is rechargeable hours. So in order to finish the project on time, how many hours we have to work extra time? For that extra time we have to estimate the cost of the extra hours, the same time effort of the extra hours. So when you calculate effort, you need to calculate how many human resources are required to finish the project on time. Extra human resources, extra hardware resources, extra software resources, extra environmental factors. Like this way we have to estimate all the extra schedule. Okay, that is called rechargeable hours. Okay, so in which project? Okay, so that is to identify the particular project, which project is having critical activities. Okay, the project number and the activity code in which activity. Okay, so a project is having thousands of activities. Okay, which activity is suffering with critical activities problem. Okay, so that identifying that. Okay, and the description of that, whether it is existed in development or analysis or design, the stage of that activity, and hours, how many hours are allotted for this week. Okay, extra hours, and what is the percentage of completed, and the scheduled time of completion, estimated time of completion for extra hours, rechargeable hours for extra schedule. Okay, so like this way we have to estimate for all. As a manager, you have to prepare the report for all the projects. It's not an easy task. Similarly for non-rechargeable hours, so the project code and description, hours worked in this week, and comments. Okay, so a workly time sheet. Okay, a workly time sheet and progress review for every week. Weekly time sheet. Okay, weekly timesheet and progress review form is prepared for every delayed project task. Okay, so for normal tasks, for intermediate, for every intermediate task is also having the weekly timesheet. Okay, but we will pay more attention on this delayed project task called critical activities. Okay, because we need to pay more attention on this. Okay, because it may shows effects on the whole development. Okay. So a weekly timesheet and progress review form is generated for every delayed project task, delays in finishing dates of tasks or whole products, expected completion time of the delayed task, estimation of effort and cost of the delayed tasks. So like this way, we'll prepare a progress review form and submits to the higher officials. Based on this review form, the higher officials make decisions how to deal this partial completion products. Okay, we'll stop here. We'll continue in the third part, reporting. Thank you.